Good afternoon, I'm Josh Duncan, and these are some of the top headlines out of the Kelowna Now newsroom today. Crews continue to battle the Drought Hill wildfire in the Peachland area after it sparked around 24 hours ago. The latest estimate from the BC Wildfire Service has the fire at 57 hectares in size, and remains out of control. 400 properties were under an evacuation order overnight, but that was just rescinded for all but a handful of them. However, hundreds of properties remain under an evacuation alert. 35 wildland firefighters are working alongside local fire crews to battle the blaze with aerial support as well. That fire exploded Wednesday afternoon before settling down into the evening and overnight. It was a quiet start again for the blaze today. The Wildfire Service, however, anticipating activity could pick up with the hotter temperatures this afternoon. Highway 97 and the connector, which both shut down for several hours when the fire started yesterday, they reopened late last night and remain open at this time. Long-term repairs are expected to begin at the site of the Summerland rock slide in the fall and are expected to be complete in the spring of 2027. The Ministry of Transportation announced today that a $23.2 million contract has been awarded to Emil Anderson Construction to complete that work. A retaining wall and catchment area will be built at the base of the slope, along with a concrete wall next to Highway 97 for added reinforcement. Additional rock anchors will also be installed to secure the slope, followed by repairs to the road surface and drainage improvements. The ministry also said the completion of this work in 2027 will finally restore the highway to its original 4-lane state, which it, of course, has been narrowed down to 2 or 3 lanes at different times since the slide in August 2023. It's been a scorcher of a week in the Okanagan, and temperatures got high enough to snap a nearly century-old temperature record on Wednesday. According to Environment Canada, Penticton hit a high of 36.8 degrees Celsius yesterday, and that was enough to break the previous record for July 30th by 0.1 degree. The old record was set all the way back in 1930. It had stood for 95 years, but that wasn't the oldest record broken on Wednesday. Prince George eclipsed a daily mark previously set all the way back in 1920, 105 years ago. Dawson Creek and Mackenzie were the other 2 BC spots to break daily temperature records for July 30th. Crews are searching for a 23-year-old man in the Thompson River after he jumped off a bridge in Kamloops yesterday. Police say the young man is presumed to have drowned. Witnesses say he jumped off the west side of the Overlander Bridge early Wednesday evening and briefly surfaced before disappearing under the water. Kamloops Search and Rescue was called to the scene and searched the river by boat and air before calling it a night. Those search efforts resumed this morning, but the 23-year-old remains missing at this time. If he's not found alive, it would mark the second drowning death in that area of the Thompson River this month. 27-year-old Jatin Garg was swept away while trying to retrieve a volleyball from the water in Overlander Park on July 6th. His body was recovered 9 days later. Now to some very positive local news. The Kelowna Women's Shelter has canceled a donation drive to fill the charity's new thrift store location. But it's for a good reason. It's because they were so overwhelmed with the first donation drive last week. The shelter says car after car dropped off items to support the community's most vulnerable members during the donation drive last Friday. As a result, the team needs more time to sort, organize, and prepare the new space and will be canceling that second drive planned for tomorrow. The Kelowna Women's Shelter's new store is located at 1021 Ellis Street, and the goal is to open the doors to the public in mid-August, with a grand openings planned for September. Finally, wrapping up with some sports news, the Okanagan FC Boys U16 team has successfully defended their provincial title. Coach Justin Boersma said the team had a target on its back heading into the tournament in Kamloops as reigning champs, but they eased the pressure a bit with a tournament opening win over Wanda Fuca. They eventually found themselves in the final against Vancouver's ICSF Roma, a rematch of the championship game from 1 year ago. Kian Cataneo scored twice, and Cade Redmond added another goal for Okanagan FC. They won 3-2 in that final and lifted the trophy once again. A quick look at the forecast, 34 degrees right now. It's expected to hit 36 before the afternoon is up. There's also another severe thunderstorm watch in place. Those haven't amounted to much in the recent days. There have been a bunch of them in the last half of July. A little cloudy overnight, low of 20 or just below it. Expected to be a bit cloudy tomorrow as well, a high of 31, and once again, potential storms later on. That's all for me today, but you can read up on all these stories and plenty more at KelownaNow.com. You have a wonderful evening. I will be back in this chair tomorrow afternoon for one final afternoon Blitz this week. See you then.
We don't just report the news. We live here too. We're your neighbors, bringing you stories that matter to all of us. No government funding, no outside influence. Kelowna Now, local, independent. News you can trust.